Hey everyone. This video is going to go over all the important information that I wanted you to get from reading the first sample narrative essay for the week 2 homework. So this video is going to go over Fear the Laundry by Brian Eden. So part of the homework was reading the essays, but then also typing up your interpretation of the rhetorical situation for each essay. So topic, angle, purpose, audience, voice, and tone. So I'm going to go through that list briefly and then kind of hit on some of the the best features of this essay and what I hoped you took away from it, especially in terms of ideas to keep in mind when you go to write your essay. So the topic for Fear the Laundry, literally his topic is his hilariously terrifying reaction to finding a dead mouse in his washing machine. I can't say that anybody would be thrilled to find a dead mouse in their washing machine. I'm not sure everybody would react quite like Brian Eden did, though. So that is our topic. The angle, what does he do to make this unique, to make it different than any kind of story we've ever read before? Well, it's definitely taking that normal everyday activity of doing laundry and making it seem like it can be an actual big deal. Because normally thinking about doing the laundry, nothing special. Something happens here, though, that makes it special. So his purpose in this, I think, is definitely to make us laugh, right? He is very funny in how he describes the whole situation. But I think it's also to show us that it's okay to laugh at ourselves, because you can tell he understands exactly how ridiculous he probably was during this moment. Who is his audience? Everyone, anyone. I think anyone could pick this up and read it and find it funny and understand what he was trying to accomplish with the essay. It is a professional writer. This isn't a student who wrote this for a composition course. So he does have sort of a leg up on us in that respect. But I think still everyone can understand this and relate to it. Because his purpose is to make us laugh and exaggerate this situation, the voice and tone that he uses is very friendly and informal, almost intimate in a way, almost like we know him and he's not afraid to share this story with us. He's not afraid of how he'll be judged or whatever. So it kind of draws us in because he is so friendly with how he writes. I want to talk briefly about the opening of this essay. Again, this isn't a formal composition course essay, right? He's writing this for himself and he makes a living off of it. So he doesn't necessarily open his essay in quite the same way that you probably will. However, you can still gain some insight about the rest of the story from the first, 2 or 3 paragraphs, right? We clearly know it's about the laundry, not only from the title, but he mentions it right away in the opening of the story. So we know it's about laundry, and he uses the term, it's code red, out of control. So that code red is some foreshadowing there, right? Something is code red, it's not good. So we don't know exactly why laundry would be code red, but at least he has alluded to something bad happening. And then, his description of his hamper, like a pan that's been loaded with too much popcorn. Not only is that a great visual detail to put in our heads, but it also lets us know that there will be some humor involved in this story, despite the fact that some sort of code red is going to take place. So it actually does provide some insight into what we can expect from the rest of the story. He has a lot of humorous references throughout that make it very funny and very relatable, very real. I love how just in the beginning he is talking about sitting there reading the October issue of GQ, and what's going through his head as he's reading it. That's pretty funny. His reference to Top Gun, you know, when he first sees the mouse, and you know, he's like, I'd like to think I'd be the courage under fire type. Turns out I'm not that way at all. And he's like, I always thought that I would, you know, return to the dogfight to save Iceman, despite the Russian MiGs. That's a reference to the movie Top Gun. So he's giving us um, relatable references, right? And that allows us to understand his frame of mind even better. Um, I love how when he's sitting there trying to figure out how to handle the situation, he's tracing and shadowing in the letters on his mail. And I think that's something that we can relate to as well. I know a lot of people, myself included, who will often doodle on a scrap piece of paper if you're on the phone, things like that. So I think that's very relatable. When he gets upset about the mouse and he starts referencing An American Tale, and he even mentions Peebo Bryson singing Somewhere Out There. Again, something that we are familiar with. I think, though, the one thing he does that really would be relatable to a lot of readers is how he talks to his dog. His conversations with Nettie are, I think, something that so many pet owners um, do as well. You know, we talk to our pets in the most random times, knowing that we're not going to get a response, at least not usually. So I think that's something that people will understand and relate to. But I think what makes this essay so effective is his self-awareness that really comes out. It seals the deal for me anyway. His thoughts throughout all of this, in the moment, what he thinks, and his self-talk, his inner monologue that he's sharing with us. If you can capture that and share it with your reader, man, most people really appreciate that, and they get it, they understand it. They probably feel some sort of connection with you. So this wasn't a huge life-changing moment for Bryden Eaton, not by any stretch. Well, at least on the surface. It seems pretty boring and mundane to be doing laundry or to be writing a story about laundry. But clearly he is able to take that mundane, boring activity and make it feel like a significant moment. And yeah, not everybody would really want to find a mouse in their washing machine. We would all probably react in some way similar to Brian, but he exaggerates the whole thing, and provides us all of that extra relatable stuff that makes us live it with him. And it's his use of the humor and relatability that really make this effective. So I like this as an example for students to read, because when I give the essay assignment and I say you have to write about something that has actually happened to you that was significant for some reason, and you have to make the reader feel that it was significant too, a lot of students struggle to find something that they're comfortable writing about because they think it has to be this big, deep, life-changing event. And it doesn't have to be. You can take something along these lines and use his example to guide you. So I like that as an option for you. But we're going to go ahead and in the next video talk about the other essay we read by Brian Eden, A Brief and Unpleasant Run-In with My Ex. If you have any questions about Fear the Laundry, or anything you'd like to share with me, your thoughts, I mean, besides anything that you wrote in the homework assignment or on the week 2 discussion, if there's anything additional, shoot me an email or a text and let me know. All right, otherwise you can go ahead and move on and watch the video on A Brief and Unpleasant Run-In with My Ex.